Hi everybody, Laura here for Honeybee Stamps. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a fun, colorful celebration birthday card to share with you featuring the Layering Balloons Stencil Set. So this set comes with two balloon stencils. One's kind of larger, one's kind of smaller. I'm going to use both. And I have a panel of craft cardstock, starting with the larger balloon stencil. And I'm going to try this technique. When you flip it over, you tape it on the back side. Trying that little technique. And I've got this Make Art Station by Wendy Vecchi. And I've got my little, what's this called? Tim Holtz Media Mat. I'm going to start blending with some Simon's Stamp white pigment ink. So this is a technique I like to do every now and again, where you do something with a little white ink on craft, and then over top of it you lay the color, and you really get a Shazam effect. Okay, so with the white pigment ink, I'm using a Gina K blender brush. You can use a sponge. You can use whatever type of blending tool tickles your fancy. But I will say that white pigment ink, especially this one, is very juicy, and it's definitely buildable. You can have a very light coating. You can really cake it on. I would say I went about medium here, medium cake edge. Okay, so there you, and that looks pretty cool by itself. You could stop right there, but I'm going to lay on the smaller layering balloon stencil, but this is when I bring the pow. I've got Distress Inks here in rainbow order. So I'm starting with Candied Apple. And I don't know why I have to sing everything, but we're just going to go with it. So Candied Apple, and then we have a little carved pumpkin. I'm really missing my spice marmalade. Months ago, I had a spice marmalade that got covered in mold, and I think it's because somebody in my family sneezed on it. Kid you not. But I've been trying to get a new one, and you know what? They're sold out everywhere you go. Spice marmalade, hard to get. So I've been using carved pumpkin. Not that I'm complaining, because carved pumpkin is just delightful. But I kind of miss my spice marmalade. And now here's mustard seed and the new Salvaged Patina. When you overlap Salvaged Patina with mustard seed, you get the most delicious green shade. It's just heavenly right there. And then now in the bottom corner, a little bit of Blueprint Sketch. Okay, now look at the magic. Okay, are you ready? Are you sitting down? Are you ready for this? Boom. Okay, I'm going to turn it into a shaker because pretty much birthday card, shaker, peanut butter and jelly. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so I have a white card base and I'm putting a little tape runner. By the way, I die cut a circle in it to create a shaker window. Putting down that inner part of the shaker so I can line it up later. A little bit of tape on the back side of my blended panel to adhere some acetate. Okay, this is to create your shaker window. I'll cover that with foam tape, but I move on to the sentiment, which is using the Bitty Buzzwords honey cuts. Okay, so I'm doing the outer in black and the inner in white. I'm going to layer that up later, you know, because dimension is life. But I'm gluing this on right now, but I got to tell you what happened yesterday. I went to the store to get a bag of ice for my daughter Alex, who's icing her foot constantly. While I'm at the store, Emma and the neighbor boys are pushing the wagon around. Like some person's riding in the wagon and one person is pushing from behind. Well, they get to going, you know, too fast. Wagon gets to wobbling. She flips out of the wagon right onto the street. I come home and she looks like half her face is scratched right off. I'm like, I don't even know it. It wasn't something that could be stitched. It's just a big old bloody scratch right across the side of her face. So I'm like, and listen, I have been doing my fair share of binging Grey's Anatomy, but that does not make me a very good nurse. I was trying to put on some bandages. You know, it's kind of a hard spot. It's right by the side of her eye. And, you know, it's hard to get it to stick it down. You can't put tape in the hair. How you get it to stick? So we had a time bandaging up the side of her face. The poor neighbor boy, he felt awful. I told him, I said, listen, don't feel guilty. It was just an accident. Even though inside I was like, you could feel a little bit guilty. Anyway, I'm stacking up the happy because dimension is life. Now it just started pouring rain while I'm doing this voiceover, and I am just so happy because two reasons. One, bring that Illinois temperature down. Two, I don't have to water the flowers. By the way, the deer are eating my flowers. What am I supposed to do about that? Now I filled the shaker with some dewdrops. Okay, now it shakes. It's not as shaky as I'd like it to be, but it gives enough birthday shake. Okay, so I'm going to adhere the Stacked Up Happy. And while I was blabbing away, I embossed a coordinating sentiment from the Bitty Buzzwords on clear on white, and I blended the color to kind of tie into the balloons. I hold this down with an acrylic block just to let it marinate. Lift it off. Bada boom, bada bing. There you have the most fun, celebratory, happy birthday balloons, layered balloons coming at you. I mean, there's something about that white on rainbow on craft that just gets me out of bed in the morning. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.